Khouri is a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut, and he joins us live now from Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. Let's pick up from where Mohammed left off in terms of the amount of pressure that Netanyahu is facing and how long he can essentially stretch out this war on Gaza for.
That's really not up to him. It's up to the conditions on the ground in Gaza. The military situation for the Israelis is not very good. They're very good at destroying entire parts of Gaza and destroying entire neighborhoods and killing tens of thousands of people, but they're not very good at achieving the goals that they set for themselves. They clearly did not anticipate that Hamas would have a strategy to defend itself and to make the battle that Netanyahu launched in Gaza a bit of a quicksand for him, a trap for him. And this is exactly what's happening, even in parts of northern Gaza, where the Israelis say they've cleared all the Hamas people out. They sent most of the civilians out to the south. They've got groups of Hamas fighters now emerging from the tunnels and pushing back, killing Israelis, and retaking some bits of territory here and there. The Hamas is not going to come out and fight Israel in the open like a conventional army. They have their guerrilla tactics that they're using, and the Israelis are not equipped really to deal with this. When you see these photographs of video of tanks and aerial bombardment, while the Hamas people are pretty well protected on the ground, and it's only the civilians who are being killed. So this is what's creating huge problems for Netanyahu. He has to show results from the military strategy, and that's not really happening. So he's doing what the Israelis often do, which is they change the subject. They divert people's attention away from the issue at hand, and suddenly the Philadelphia corridor is something really important.
Right. That actually brings me to my next question, because he did bring it up in recent times, saying that they need to take control of that corridor. Just talk to us a bit about this corridor between Gaza and Egypt and what it would mean for both Egypt and Gaza if Israel does indeed regain control of that border zone.
Well, it would be very dramatic if Israel were to regain control, because it would then totally encircle all of Gaza with its military installations, and they would be able to place a watertight siege on Gaza, even tighter than what they've had recently. And it's not beyond them to do that. We've seen in the last 3 months what the Israelis are capable of doing in terms of brutal actions that cause immense human suffering, which is going to increase now with the various diseases that are going to emerge from the conditions there of poor water, poor healthcare, lack of food. But if the Israelis were to control the Philadelphia corridor, they would be able to prevent anybody coming in or out of Gaza and prevent any supplies or food or whatever to come in and out. There's no way that Egypt would accept that. And it's not really up to the Israelis to determine the fate of the land around Gaza. I mean, they can control Gaza from their Israeli borders in Israel and maybe even from the sea. But from the south on the Egypt side, that's got to be determined by the Egyptians and by some international consensus. So it's going to depend a lot on the conditions that bring the fighting to an end. Netanyahu also is doing something he always does, which is to talk big, to talk tough. And he's been doing this from the beginning, saying this is going to go on for months. We're just in the start of this. We're going to be ruthless. They're going to see something they've never seen before. So this is important for him, but this is now not really effective anymore. He's done it for 3 months, and the results simply aren't there. And that's why you have all these pressures from internal parties in Israel, the families of the hostages, the political groups, various people in the public. So I think we have to be very careful about responding to what Netanyahu says. He's not a serious political actor in the sense that he doesn't control all the levers of the issues that he's talking about. He is the prime minister of Israel, but he doesn't determine the fate of the Philadelphia corridor or other things, the future governance of Gaza, the links between Gaza and the West Bank, etc. So I think this is an important sign that there is a real serious problem that Netanyahu is facing, and he's responding to it in the same way that Israel has always responded, with military force, talking big, and trying to achieve more territorial control of Palestine, to take some more land, drive Palestinians out. That's what Zionism and Israel have done for about 100 years now.
Right.
But the irony is that they've done this so often. They ran Gaza for many years. They colonized it. They laid siege to it. And controlling the land militarily has only brought them greater resistance. They learned that in South Lebanon. They're learning it in Gaza, and it'll probably be learned in the West Bank as well one day. So they have to shift to a political strategy to negotiate a resolution of their conflict with the Palestinians and the other Arabs. And that's the source of security that they should aspire to, which is also within reach. Want to do it.
All right, Rami Khouri, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World and sharing that analysis with us. I appreciate it.